Hello and welcome to another video with me, Meoni, for Final Fantasy XIV. If you've not seen or heard from the latest live letter, a great deal of interesting things were announced for the game coming in patch 4.3. Some more controversial than others, but one that seems to be very much in the air for a lot of people on the official forums and indeed on the subreddit, is the topic of the all-greed alliance raids. So in 4.3 onwards, the loot system within the Alliance raids, which are the large-scale puggable raiding content, the gear that drops from within those bosses will only have the greed option and pass. No longer will you have the option to need roll on something and have any priority on that loot for your roll. Game director Naoki Yoshida during the live letter mentioned the following translated quote: "This is to ensure main jobs who want to roll on equipment for their sub-jobs will have a chance in getting for their sub-job, and everyone will get a fair chance in rolling for it without someone needing the equipment you wanted for a sub-job." So, there are two ways to look at this change. First is from the perspective of the first few weeks of the raid content, where people will be looking to upgrade their gear by getting a piece from their 1 per week lockout. This first viewpoint is going to be even more irritating from this point onwards. Before, you always had to roll against every other healer in your party, or every other melee DPS, or the other tank. Many runs could be done of the raid without even seeing a particular piece of gear drop, and then your RNG could simply give out when it does drop. The problem there is, without the ability to prioritize that person's roll, people will be able to randomly roll on anything from the comfort of a different job. A good example would be going as a DPS into Rabanasta and then taking tank loot. Does that tank not deserve priority on that tanking piece due to him actually performing that particular role? It seems to me that they wanted more and more people to play support roles and even started to reward this by putting exclusive tank mounts into the game for tanking so many dungeons as achievement rewards. They had to do this to counter the lack of players performing those roles before, so does this not then go against that same idea? The second viewpoint you can look at this new loot system is actually from the perspective of someone fresh, joining the game maybe 1 to 2 months down the road from the content's release. This person is told by many to go and get loot from the Alliance raids, and that they can boost their item level up, and then group up with their friends with that gear because then they'll get past the item level restrictions. So this guy goes into Ridorana Lighthouse and suddenly realizes, even though he's queued as a healer, the chances of him getting the healing set are now 1 out of 7, as well as if a piece drops, because not only has the weekly restriction on loot likely been removed that far into the content, but also you've got the greed only roll as well. There's also the fact that if this is truly a greed only rule system, that likely affects the minions, triple triad cards and the crafting materials too, but I suppose that wouldn't be too different from where we are now, since I would imagine most people press need on that content anyway. Would it not be unfair then to say that the way it is now, that if I really want tank gear I should probably play my tank? That should be my encouragement, my carrot on the stick to actually gear that tank and have all those people on my back and the pressure for me to perform that role correctly. But that seems to be undermined by the fact I could just go in there as my healer or a DPS and just essentially do a subpar job and take their loot for that other role. So why then are the developers moving towards a free-for-all system? It's an irritable subject, and I'd really value your thoughts below on what you think about this. At this point, it's unclear if this change only affects future Alliance raids and not the older ones too, but I'm sure that will be clarified soon, if not before or at the next live letter. It seems to me personally just to be a way to artificially extend the lifespan of content by making it more arduous to acquire your items every week. And in content that's already getting tiresome due to wipes or the general incompetence of pug groups, it just seems like artificial difficulty increases are not really needed or wanted by the community that plays the content. Either way, thank you for watching this video, let me know what you think below, and I'll see you all next time.